TSPS Malkajgiri news channel. A warm good morning to everyone. I'm Manaswini from grade 9. You are watching Daylight, where we bring news updates from around the world, India, and some of the school events conducted recently in our school. The WHO urged the 20 leaders with the power to overturn the disgraceful imbalance in the access of COVID-19 vaccines to reverse the tide before October. Scientists blasted off a 500 million year old blob, an unicellular organism, neither a plant or animal, which lacks nucleus, welcomed by astronauts aboard the International Space Station. Forest fires in Algeria, 42 killed, which included 25 soldiers deployed to help put out the blaze. The thick clouds of smoke covered much of the mountainous Kabylie region east of the capital. Continuous heavy rains in Uttar Pradesh has triggered a flood-like situation as water levels of Ganga and Yamuna cross the danger marks at several places. India has administered over 520 million COVID vaccine doses till now. Sports updates. India started their campaign with a silver medal by Mirabai Chanu and ended with Neeraj Chopra winning an historic gold medal. India finished 48th on the medal ranking in Tokyo Olympics, the highest ranking in the 4 decades. Now I am going to share the news of our school events which have been conducted recently, like interview of pediatrician Dr. Varaprasad.
Good afternoon, doctor.
Good afternoon.
I am Muhammad Muzamil Ahmed of the Skiller Public School.
Good afternoon.
I am Muhammad Muzamil Ahmed of the Skiller Public School.
I am Manaswini.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So today we are here to ask you a few questions about your successful journey of being a pediatrician.
Okay.
Skills and education is required to become a successful pediatrician.
See, basically, pediatrician is a person who treats children, right? So, if you want to treat children, you need to have a lot of patience. Very good. So, when you are choosing your career itself, you should know whether you are patient enough and you should not have anger. If you have anger and if you don't have patience, you cannot see the patients properly. So, main thing is your patience is required and you should control your anger, and then you should have hard work. Without hard work, you can never become a pediatrician or any doctor in that manner. So, hard work is very, very important to become any doctor. After that only comes patience and anger management.
And when did you finish your studies and when did you apply?
After passing out from Nilofer Hospital as a senior resident, I have started my practice in 2001. Okay. At that time, I did not have such a big clinic. I was just passed out and I did not have money also to start an establishment, like to start a clinic. So I have to work hard. So I used to work as a duty doctor in one hospital by name Abhaya Children's Hospital, where in Nalakunda. For a 6-hour shift, I used to get 5,500 rupees. So with that 5,500 rupees in 2020, I have to run a family because I am married by that time. So it was very hard for me to get to run the family with that amount. So I have to establish my clinic. So what happened at this point of time? I have to take a loan from my father-in-law. He was kind enough to give me some loan. So I took a loan from him. I started a career in 2001. I started a small clinic in Anandabad Crossroads. And then after 20 years of practice, I am here.
So, what is your child policy?
See, child policy is nothing but I think so it is parenting to children, to the parents. See, every child is unique. Please don't compare your child with other siblings. See, when you have 10 children in a class, you cannot expect every time 10 children to be in class first. So, as a parent, what we should do is just encourage the child to study and at the same time don't focus only on studies. You just try to find out his talent, his hidden talent, and then you should ask him to concentrate on that hidden talent apart from studies. For example, if you are good at chess, apart from studies, you as a parent, you should ask them to improve their chess playing capacity also. And at the same time, if you are good at dancing, you encourage dancing. So this, please don't compare your child like when I go to a classroom as a guest lectures. Some parents ask me, sir, how to make our child as to be the first in the class and all. So what I would tell them is just try to take out the hidden talent from your child and try to improve that skills. That is one thing, and please don't scold your children unnecessarily, because scolding the children, they try to revolt against you. So please do not scold the children, try to encourage them in whatever, let it be poor in studies, but he may be good at some other things which you may notice. So encourage in that, this one. And the third thing is regarding junk food. I want to, just because as a pediatrician, I want to tell about the junk food. So please discourage junk food, especially all the processed foods, all the maida flavor foods, which are not at all good for their health. As a child, they should have a lot of green leafy vegetables, salads, fruits. So these things will help them in developing their immunity.
So are you a part of a group, or if it's solo then we will cover you when you are on your own?
See, I am having a solo practice since 20 years, and in case if I am on leave, I try to put some doctor here. I will try to put a qualified pediatrician so that my parents, my patients will not get affected, and in case of any emergency, I give them my personal number. They will call me in case of any emergency.
Yes. How does a typically checkup last?
Typically, a checkup means I did not understand.
We have checkups for each
Yeah.
patient. So how much will the time taken for checkup?
See, it depends on each and every patient. Some patients we take around 2 to 3 minutes, some patients may take 10 minutes. It depends on the case scenario. Suppose if a simple fever case or a cold cough case comes, that's not an issue, because we see routinely, we take around 4-5 minutes. But if it is a seizure case, or if it is a brain related case, or if it is something that child have a developmental disorder, then in that cases we need to assess the child, and then we have to come to a conclusion. So in that case it will take around 10 to 20 minutes.
So is there a call in your policy?
Yeah, I have an appointment system here. Patients usually call me up, they take an appointment and they fix an appointment and they can come. And for some persons who are not able to come, we have a video consultation, and we have a Google Pay and a Paytm facility also for their payments.
So sir, what are your views on vaccines, antibiotic, alternative medicine, and bottle feeding, sleep training, etc.?
This many questions at a time. But I'll start from the vaccination is one thing. I think so each and every child in India should take a vaccine, because these vaccines prevents us from lot of diseases. So from the birth, our government of India is giving vaccines in all the government hospitals. Those people who are not affordable can go and utilize the government services and take the vaccinations there. If you are affordable, if you can pay, you can come to the private hospital, and we have a lot more vaccines than covered by the government hospitals. So vaccinations basically they prevent the child from getting infectious diseases, and for example tuberculosis or diphtheria or pertussis, polio, these all diseases are included in the vaccinations. So please do not ignore your vaccines. Try to take the vaccine on time and as per your pediatrician's advice. Right.
So next is antibiotics, alternative medicine.
One thing when you asked me about antibiotics is one thing which it should not be self-medicated. That is the one which I want you to highlight. We have some patients who have already, when the child is suffering from fever, their mother or father gives them antibiotics and then they come to us. Then it will be a tough job for us to treat. So what we have to do is, please do not use antibiotics at home, or do not use any antibiotics as prescribed by the medical shop person. You just go to your doctor and on his advice only, if required, if an antibiotic is required, then the doctor will prescribe you the required antibiotic. Please do not start as you wish. And once the antibiotic is prescribed, you should finish it within the course the doctor has prescribed to you. Suppose if I write for a 7-day course of antibiotic, you are supposed to finish for 7 days. Some parents which we see, they completely stop it after 3 days. When we ask the question, why did you stop? They tell, sir, my child's fever has come down within 3 days, so I have stopped. That's not correct. So you are supposed to complete the course of the antibiotic, and you should not stop the antibiotic abruptly.
So next is on bottle feeding.
Now, bottle feeding, we are not at all promoting bottle feeding. That is for me, to make it sure, even in our postgraduate, they teach us not to promote any bottle feeding, and I personally, I do not promote bottle feeding. Mother feeding is the best feeding. Until 2 years, your mother is required to feed the child, okay? But up to 6 months, it should be an exclusive breastfeeding, and after 6 months, with the breastfeeding, the mother should start weaning the child. You know what is weaning? Weaning is giving the breast milk with some supplementation of food. Like suppose if after 6 months, what we do is we give the mothers, we will continue the mother's breast milk, and with that we give the child the homemade preparation food like rice, pulses, the mixtures made up of powder made up of rice and pulses. We boil it and make it into paste, and then we give to the baby. So that is weaning. Okay.
So next is sleep training.
Sleep training, nowadays I am having lot of complaints from the patients that my child is not sleeping properly. So this is mostly seen in the kids who are above 2 years. That's because nowadays many number of children are exposed to gadgets, which I strongly suggest the parents, please do not give the gadgets to your child. And there is one time called as screen time, as prescribed by the Academy of Pediatrics. The screen time should be not more than 1 hour to a 2 to 5-year-old child. So if you are giving any gadgets means phones, laptops, iPads and TV. These all comes under gadgets. So their screen time should be limited only to 1 hour. And max at the most it should be only 2 hours, and it should not be in a stretch, it should be in different intervals. Okay, and please do not give your child a gadget before going to 2 hours before going to sleep. Suppose if your child is sleeping by 9 o'clock, you should stop his TV viewing or whatever it may be by 7 o'clock. And please train your child. Train your child to sleep early and wake up early, because as there is a proverb, early to sleep and early to rise makes the man healthy, wealthy and wise. So that is the best proverb. So make your child to sleep by 9 o'clock. Even though you are a working woman or you are a working man, you may stay up to 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, but please make your child a habit of sleeping by 9 o'clock. And don't tell that my child will never sleep. It is all depending upon the parenting. It all depends on your training. So you please train your child to sleep as early as possible.
So can you suggest few safety measures for the children above 18 years who are not yet vaccinated?
Above 18 years.
Yes,
No, below 18 years. So if a child is not vaccinated below 18 years, what they should do is they have to go to their family pediatrician, and if they have a previous record, let them bring that record and show to the concerned pediatrician, and the pediatrician will check the checklist, and if the child has missed it, again he will take a decision to vaccinate. But as a pediatrician, I would tell you is there is a vaccine up to 2 years, which is a compulsory vaccine, and yearly there will be a flu vaccine up to 5 years as recommended by Indian Academy of Pediatrics, and up to 8 years as recommended by Vaccination Association. Stop.
So since there are no vaccination for children below 18 years,
COVID vaccine, right?
So can you suggest few safety measures which they have to
Yeah, good question. See, according to Government of India, right now they are promoting above 18 years vaccination for COVID. So below 18 years, you should be protected as they are anticipating the third wave also. And what the papers and journals and speeches, what they are talking along in the television is the third wave is going to affect children. But as a pediatrician, as of my personal opinion, third wave will not affect exclusively children. It will affect all the age groups. But it is not particular that it affects only children, right? And as because you are not vaccinated, the preventive things is the SMS. You know what is SMS? Sanitizer, mask, and social distance. So the SMS standards seems to be a gold standard. So always wash your hands with hand sanitizer and wear a face mask and have a social distance. How much should be a social distance? Minimum of 6 feet. This is one thing which is a basic gold standard. And the second thing is try to avoid crowds, especially when you try to avoid going into a shopping mall, try to avoid going to a restaurants or going to a theaters. Especially if it is a closed room, you should be extra careful and keep your house or wherever you go, your house should be well ventilated. Well ventilated means all the windows should be open and there should be cross ventilation, right? And because you people are not vaccinated, what you should do is you have a safety measures, but when you are playing with your same siblings, you try to wear a mask and then play. Do not remove your mask while playing, right? And if any child, if you find that he or she might be having cold and cough, try to avoid them and ask them to restrain in the house itself. Please, as a parent also, what I would give suggestion is, if your child is suffering from cold, cough or fever, please keep your child in the home and don't allow him to mingle with the other children. It may not be COVID, but if he is having cold and cough, ask your child to refrain to the home.
Thank you, sir, for giving us a lot of help.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's nice talking to you, and you have asked wonderful questions which are relevant to our present situation and the past situation. And as a pediatrician, my only thing is for the parents, I would give some message. As a pediatrician, what I could tell to the parents is, please encourage your child in whatever field he is good at. As I told you, if he is good at studies, you encourage him in studies. If he is good at sports, encourage in sports, dance, playing, chess, whatever it may be. And please do not scold your children. Just give them a message or give them a small, it should not be like scolding, it should be like a, class, whatever it may be. Okay. And the third thing is, it should be like a suggestion. And for your child, you should be like a friend. He should not treat you like a father or mother, and he should not be scared of you. As a child, whenever he sees a father and mother, he should come running towards you. He should not be scared and be hiding behind you. And please concentrate on the food. Whatever food you give, let it be a good homemade food. Do not give him junk food, or especially in this COVID situations, I would request all the parents not to give any street food. Especially even now I see some of the children or some of the parents with children eating pani puris and eating outside stuff standing on the roads. So please avoid such type of street food and avoid going into malls, and please maintain the SMS policy, that is sanitizer, mask and social distance. This is regarding the COVID third wave. Don't be fear or panic, and don't be fearful. Just try to follow these rules. Be safe, be at home, keep your room ventilated, avoid crowdings and SMS properly. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
And an informative video about Quit India movement and CCA activities like Rakhi making and Mehendi for primary and high school. Thank you.